So I promised you guys a video on Ben Nye Banana Powder. You've seen me use it in several of my videos, if you've seen several of my videos. And I actually specifically got a request for it from Mila Monster. So hello, I hope you're watching. To get started, Ben Nye Banana Powder is a translucent setting powder. And I first heard about this either from Erin over at Scandalous Beauty or from Simone at Reflections of Beauty. I can't remember. I've heard them both talk about it. It's a translucent powder that a lot of makeup artists love because it doesn't look ashy on darker skin because it's not white. It actually has kind of a peachy yellow tone to it. It also supposedly kind of diffuses light and kind of makes the skin appear more perfected. Ben Nye is a theatrical makeup company, and so they have actually have a couple other products by Ben Nye. These color wheels, for example, which are just basically cream colors, and you can use them all over the face. They have foundations and concealers, they have glitter, they have everything, and this is just one of their offerings. Now, they do have several types of this powder. This is banana. Banana is the color. They also had, I think, like a white and an ivory, if I'm not mistaken. And they also have a separate line of translucent powders. And those powders actually are more in keeping with skin tones. I think this is the darkest powder that they have in this luxury powder. But with their normal translucent powder, I think it goes fairly dark. Ben Nye is available at a variety of different places. I actually got it here at a shop that sells basically a lot of things that cater to drag queens. But you can find it at costume shops. I actually picked up a couple other Ben Nye items from a costume shop. If you have a theatrical makeup supply in your area, go ahead and check that out. Give them a call. And you can also find it online. If you just Google Ben Nye Banana Powder, there are several places online that sell it. And the prices are pretty comparable. I think I saw this at the most for $9. Much like the rest of Ben Nye's line, it's much less expensive than what you'll find at a department store. Even a drugstore, actually, to some degree. Because this powder is 1.5 ounces, which is 42 grams. My MAC Invisible set is 30 grams and 1.1 ounce. And I paid $8 for this. This MAC might have been anywhere between $20 and $30. I really don't remember. It was a while ago. But it's definitely a steal. This also comes in a larger size. It's about twice as big as this. So it would be about 3 ounces. And that was $12. The Invisible set is definitely white, stark white. You can see the difference in the banana powder in the way that it's a little bit darker. The tint on it is a little bit different. I'm not going to show you on my face because I don't think it would really make a big difference. I don't think you'd be able to see with my lighting setup and everything. But I'll show you on my hand so that you can see the difference in the color of a traditional translucent white setting powder and the banana powder. So this is Invisible Set by MAC, and I'm just going to get a little on my hand, with my finger on my hand. And obviously it's very stark white. This is not how you would apply it to your face. It would not look that white on your face because you'd really blend it and buff it in, and you wouldn't pack it on the way I just did. But to show you the banana powder, that's what it looks like. Maybe if I hold them up this way. Okay, so there we go. We've got the Invisible set on the right or on your left, and then on your right you're going to see the banana powder. The texture of the powder is like cornstarch, actually. That's what I thought as soon as I touched it. And the reason for that is because cornstarch is the third ingredient. It's talc powder, basically. That's the base for the powder. And then it has some derivative of zinc. And then it has cornstarch. So the powder itself is really finely milled. It's very light and very don't know, kind of like that slickness that cornstarch has. But because it's talc, it's not completely the texture of cornstarch. If you are familiar with Bare Essentials has a product called Mineral Veil. Mineral Veil is actually a cornstarch based product, and you can tell it's very light and fluffy. So this product is similar, but not the same. I'm not a huge fan of the packaging, just because I find that it's a little bit difficult to use the product. It has a sifter at the top, which is good, because if it didn't, this powder would go everywhere. But the problem is that the cap is really small. If you had ideas that, okay, well, I'll just sprinkle a little onto the cap, you're going to be in for a semi-rude awakening. This brush, this powder brush, I think it's a blush brush actually, by MAC, is not that big, but it's still too big. I don't even know if I can really show you really well, but it's still kind of big and a little difficult to get into the cap. And this is not the brush that I had been using. Actually, I've been using a brush that was quite a bit fluffier, and I would just get the very tip of the brush into the cap and try to swirl that around. But the problem is, again, the cap is so small, you don't have a lot of room to swirl the product around and to tap it off. And if you saw one of my videos, I can't remember which one it was, but I was actually applying some of this powder after I thought I had gotten a little bit of it off, and when I went to touch my face, it just exploded in a powder puff. That's the downside. The packaging and the powder itself is very light and kind of fluffy, and it moves around a lot. So that's something to definitely be aware of. The way that you'd use this powder is really any other way you'd use a translucent powder. A lot of people like to dust translucent powder underneath their eyes when they're going to be applying a shadow that's going to have fallout, so that they can dust it away without ruining their foundation. But typically you would just use a translucent powder to set your foundation. You could use a fluff like this, a powder puff is what I'm trying to say. You could use a cosmetic wedge. You could even use a fluffy brush. This is a MAC 130, no, I'm lying, no, 129, MAC 129, and you would just dust it over your face after you've applied your foundation, whether it's a cream or a liquid. I'm going to show you right now how to apply it. I actually have on foundation already. I'm wearing STILA Natural Finish Oil Free Makeup in H, and I'm going to just show you exactly what I mean. So I'm going to put a little bit of the powder into the cap, and grab my brush and try to tap some off. And you can see I have to tap it off quite a bit, but you get some on your brush. Depending on how you apply your powder, you could apply it different ways. You could either push this into the skin and kind of do a tap and roll. You might even want to press the brush into your skin like that to really get the powder in and to set it. Otherwise, you could get some powder on your brush and just, actually, it might help if I took my glasses off. You might want to just go ahead and sweep the powder on. The coverage on this is actually fairly sheer, so if you're expecting to get any kind of coverage at all, you're going to be out of luck. It really just will help set your makeup and prevent it from transferring as easily, prevent it from wearing off as easily. Even though at first it does seem to mattify your skin a bit, I noticed within a couple hours my skin was getting oily again. So this doesn't take the place of a good blot powder. This isn't going to take the place of a good powder that really does work to counteract oil. One of the other things that I know I'd heard a lot about is that it really just gives your skin a perfected look and a glow. I didn't see that. I mean, it looks okay, but I really didn't see that it was anything that spectacular. I think the biggest thing that this powder has to offer is that it's not going to look stark white on your skin. It's not going to be visible as a traditional white translucent powder. So I hope that helps you guys and answers any questions that you had about the powder. If you have any other questions, just let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to help you get them answered. So until the next time, take care.